Hey fellow writers, Scott here from Script Reader Pro. Today we're going to be talking about storytelling for television. Come on. Hey everybody, Scott here again from Script Reader Pro. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for choosing to spend some time with us. Remember, above all things, I'm a screenwriter, just like you probably, if you're watching this. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. What I say isn't the end all and be all, but I'm a screenwriter who loves to help other screenwriters and explain things in a way that may be easier to understand or may give you some insight that you haven't quite picked up yet. So that's our goal, and that's why we're putting these videos out. Today we're talking about storytelling. We did a video on storytelling for features, and so now we've got one here for you for storytelling for television. Okay? TV, the golden age of TV. TV is everything these days, right? And we're getting so much quality material and everyone wants to get in on it. Breaking into TV is no easier than features, but there's a lot more room for new writers to break in. There are a lot of chairs around a table that are looking to be filled season after season after season. Look at all the scripted shows out there. There's a ton of them. And every one of those shows has at least a handful of writers in a room working on them. So original pilot is something that's important for you to write if you want to get into the TV job. Now, TV isn't like features where you can sit in your bubble for however long and write your movie. TV is a Monday to Friday kind of 9 to 5 job. You're in a room with other people, you were all counting on each other, you're breaking story, and then certain people get assigned their episodes. Now, when you're writing an original pilot, it's also important to keep in mind that yes, it can be something you can sell, right? You're going to try to get a producer interested in it. But what it also acts as is a sample for what you can do as a writer. What your voice is, why it's different, why you can fit in someone else's room. In staffing seasons, sometimes they may only read the first 5 pages of a script and they'll know right away if it's someone they want in their writer's room, if that's what they're looking for. So you don't have a lot of time to make people pay attention. So you need to grab people instantly, grab them by the throat and keep them there, okay? Keep in mind that a pilot script is all about laying out the breadcrumbs. It's setup, 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 setup. That's all it is. You aren't paying anything off. You're setting everything up and you're taking it to a place that smacks us in the face, makes us pay attention, and then we're done. You want us to be like, no, I want more. That's what you want us feeling, right? So your pilot must grab us instantly, must set up a whole bunch of things along the way, leading to a place where we're hooked and on the edge of our seat and can't wait to find out what happens next, okay? Yes, you can create a Bible, you can create a lookbook, all of these things, but your pilot is the most important piece of the puzzle. You have to keep in mind that there isn't really an end to your story, right? You may have an end in your mind. You may think, 10 seasons down the line, this happens. That doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? What matters is that at the end of that pilot, your reader is filled with ideas on possibilities, opportunities where the story can go, where it can take us, who can be in it, who can star in it, what kind of complications are coming. That's what a great pilot does, okay? A great pilot, a great pilot shouldn't need a Bible. Because by the end of that episode, at the end of that document, they've got everything they need to know. They can see it. They can see the thousands of options that can come at them week by week by week by week, okay? Doesn't matter really where you see it going even. It matters where they see it going and if you've done the job to get them thinking about it. Think of a pilot almost like a book where it's chapter 1. The great books out there, they don't end a chapter completed. They don't wrap it up with a tiny bow and end that chapter 7 or chapter 1. They end that chapter hanging in a moment, asking a question, making a promise. And what does it make you do? It makes you turn that page and want more. How do you get us wanting to turn to that next chapter? The first chapter doesn't pay anything off. It introduces us to the world. It introduces us to some characters. It sets up a bunch of things. It asks some questions. It makes some promises. And then it ends on a moment that makes us curious for more. Think of it like Hansel and Gretel. You're not going to end the pilot episode with them walking in that house and meeting the woman who's going to put them in the oven. You're going to introduce the world, show us Hansel and Gretel, have them walk down that path into that forest, leaving those breadcrumbs and disappearing into the fog. And then maybe we hear a sound. That's where your pilot ends. Look at some of the pilots that have excited you or the world lately. Things like Bridgerton, Stranger Things, Fargo, Friends from College, Afterlife. All of these shows have such an interesting opening episode that by the time it's done, you just want to watch what's next. Ozark is such a great one for that. It just constantly surprises you. You have no idea what's coming next, and suddenly it's over on a moment where we can see where that show's going to go, and we can see where that trouble is in the air hanging around. One of my favorite pilots in a long time is Animal Kingdom. If you haven't watched it, watch it and then thank me. It's such an amazing show. You open up this episode with this scene that grabs you by the throat. It opens up with a young boy on a couch, woman laying there next to him, paramedics come in the door, ask what's going on, says that she's overdosed, and he's sitting there watching a game show while they're trying to revive his mom. Then he makes a phone call to his grandma, tells her that his mom is dead, and his grandma shows up. They haven't seen each other for years. They don't really know each other. She takes him home into this rich, huge house with a pool and toys and cars from this crappy little apartment, and it's a brand new world for him. He's got these uncles. Some seem cool. Some are kind of scary. He doesn't know about this matriarch, this grandmother character, but something strange is happening. And as that pilot unfolds, we get the idea and we understand that they are a criminal family, that they are thieves, that there's something being planned and something in the works, and they're not sure if they can trust this new young kid. And it ends in a way that makes us stop, holding our breath, thinking, okay, where's the next episode? I got to watch it. There isn't a single payoff in that whole show. Not a single payoff. It's setup, 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 setup. Peaky Blinders is the same way. Setup, setup, setup. You're building your world. You're opening that first chapter. You're bringing us in. You're grabbing us by the throat and you're not letting go. Whether it's 30 pages, whether it's 60 pages, it doesn't matter. Set up your world. Let us know who your characters are. Build yourself higher and higher and higher and leave us hanging on that edge. It doesn't have to be a true cliffhanger, right? You don't have to have some guy, with a gun in his mouth, bam, we go to black, we have no idea what happens next. It doesn't have to be that. It can be very cinematic and kind of wrap things up and let us kind of hang there. Character leans back on the porch with their feet up on the edge, sipping in their coffee in this new world that they're excited about. It doesn't really matter how suspenseful it is. It depends on the show. But the key is taking us somewhere and leaving us somewhere where we just crave what happens next. Storytelling for television is breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs. Let us feel like you're leading us somewhere important. Okay, and remember, it doesn't really matter where you see it going. It matters that the reader feels it can go somewhere exciting. Okay? So if you're writing a pilot, maybe keep those things in mind. Right? It's not beginning, middle, and end. That's a movie. It's a beginning. So pull us in, keep us gripped in your hand, keep us engaged in where it's taking us, give us something new, give us characters to fall in love with or hate or like or dislike or whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you have us interested that these characters can take us places. So keep writing. Thanks again for coming in. Share this video if you'd like. At Script Reader Pro, we're all about trying to help make you better with every page, whether it's our mentorship, our marketing mentorship, our regular notes and development note services, or phone call consults, whatever it is, our Q&As. We're here because we want to help you get better, okay? We were all where you were at one point, and we wanted more. We wanted a service or people that could really help us, and we could tell, got it. If you haven't already, please subscribe below. If you like a video, feel free to like it, share it if you find it valuable, and click on the alerts so we can let you know when we drop a new video. So keep writing, write hard, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.